Which zodiac signs will relocate in 24? You're watching a professional astrologer's channel. My name is Lolita, and I specialize in the field of immigration and self-realization. I'm an immigrant myself. I lived in Prague for 13 years. Now I live in Singapore, and I was born in Kazakhstan. That's my story and the topic of immigration. It's my absolute favorite. I'm really good at it because 98% of my clients are immigrants from all over the world, fulfilling their potential in countries of not their birth. So today we're giving a breakdown of immigration trends, who's going to move, where they're going to move. We'll discuss everything. The initial point I want to explain, break down, and bring your attention to is, let's say, the primary condition for immigration. There's a lot of talk about immigration today, of course. It's a popular topic, but should everyone move? This question can certainly be answered by a birth chart, because the initial condition for moving is, it must be in the birth chart. You must initially have a migrant birth chart, meaning you must initially have the potential to. If you don't have this potential, it doesn't mean you can't move. You can overcome, you can prevail, you can bend this world to your will. The question of effort's cost. How much effort are you willing to put in for this? It's always a balancing act. So why do you need to know your birth chart in the first place, your way? And the first condition is a migrant birth chart. What indicators should be present here? I won't go too deeply into astrological indicators now, mainly because I'm not watched by astrologers. But nevertheless, broadly speaking, yes, these are the indicators of the moon. These are the indicators of the 9th sector. The 12th sector, that is the movement itself. And it must, let's say, be approved, yes, by your birth chart. You must have the potential for, this is the most substantial geographic change. Yes, we're talking about a big one, not just traveling there, but actually relocating. That is the chance to put down roots in a different country, the chance to live in a different country, the chance, the second phase, to grow in a different country. One thing is simply to relocate. Immigrant formulas in every map they can be. Different for different people. Yes, if there aren't so many of them, but you can still relocate. The key question is whether you'll be able to make something of yourself in a different country. If you have sources of income abroad, then here, I guess home is where the heart is. So to relocate. The formula may exist if the source of income is abroad. Are there formulas to receive the financial energy with the help of which a person could live and develop directly? Yes, this is a very important point because there are formulas for simple relocation for many. The question is the implementation abroad. The question to be needed there, now that's a challenge with a star. And that's where the astrologer works. The person himself works for preparing necessary potentials for moving, to develop them and move more or less ready so as not to meet this wall of resistance. This is very important because emigration, just like that, pack up, break off, the question is through how quickly we want to get back. Pack our suitcase for flight back, yes, with tears of unrealized hopes, expectations. This is important. This is important for everyone to understand. If you have potentials, if you have in general, you should be allowed to immigrate and relocate. Do you have earning potentials? Do you have income potentials? What are they? Now, by the way, I have noticed and tracked the following trend that many people have in their birth chart. There is no former, that is, a person does not need to move in principle. He lives comfortably in the country or in a country that is close in cultural identity. For example, it can be a country where the same language is spoken. He lives in this society, but in man, there are formulas for earnings and income from abroad. This is just a story about remote work, about the fact that now many people have this opportunity, this discrepancy. In other words, this period of COVID, it has essentially unsealed these potentials in many people. So look at your life context, what you need, what is closer to you, what fits you, and we are moving on. To answer the question, which zodiac signs have more potential to move in the 24th year, we need to look at the key trends of the year and what we see here. What will be the most active, what external trends will be included. Synchronization with each birth chart. then this match occurs. That is, external trends must have something to come into contact with on your part. That is, what you have in your birth chart. This transaction must happen in order for a real event to happen. What is here? Let's look. So the key trends, of course, this is for potential. On immigration, we are looking at the eclipse, and here we have eclipses on the Aries-Libra axis, which is the first potential, of course, for these two signs. People with the sun in Aries, people with the sun in Libra will feel the need to move. They'll feel the need for fulfillment, like invitations from other countries in order to establish this contact. Maybe it won't be immigration right here, right now, but this bridge needs to be built right now, by the way, for many, very many people right now. The potential is in the birth chart for living in two countries. That's an interesting trend. That's really the corridor of recent years. I mean, in future years, when for many people it really will be an outcome, a decision to realize the potentials that exist in terms of work. Work will even require living in two countries at this moment. Next is the second indicator, people with a strongly manifested Jupiter in the birth chart. If you've looked into my synchronous project or are familiar with your birth chart and you realize, yes, I have the planet Jupiter and it plays a significant role in my birth chart. If this is applicable to you, you'll also be influenced by this trend in 2024. You'll also experience a need, a longing to relocate, a desire to move. Perhaps a journey to a different country, a coincidence might occur. Perhaps you might fall in love with that country. There's a very high chance of this happening, particularly those with prominent Jupiter often encounter it, specifically among Sagittarians naturally. Indeed, it's your dominant planet. Even non-Sagittarians can have a strong Jupiter, for instance, with a beneficial aspect in the 10th sector, the sector accountable for career and social success. It's entirely possible. The third index, which will be very active in 24, will be in sync with the maps. People who also have this indicator, Pluto in the birth chart, there's a lot of them. I know many, especially those born in the 80s, 90s. And this generation has a large percentage of birth charts where Pluto plays a strong role. This generation will have a high need and a chance to move. What is immigration in general? How does it develop? Two factors should come together here. There must be an inner need. Your inner desire, it can be justified or unreasonable. And the external conditions must coincide. That is, the circumstances, when this match happens, then events happen in their physical embodiment. So it's important to use your formulas, earn money where it's your destiny, earn money in foreign projects, learn the language, develop yourself if you feel this need. If circumstances develop, move, don't be afraid, seize these opportunities. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video.